Huge earnings reported today by SDG&E's parent company, Sempra Energy. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. Sempra Energy says it earned $2.9 billion in profit last year. The news comes as many SDG&E customers struggle to pay their utility bills. CBS 8's David Goffredson breaks down the numbers, including some good news for ratepayers about future natural gas bills.
It's very good times for Sempra, and that results from the profitability that SDG&E pushes up.
2022 was a good year for SDG&E as well as its parent company, Sempra Energy, which reported $2.9 billion in adjusted gross revenues. Much of the income came from SDG&E, which had $915 million in gross earnings for 2022. But last year was not so great for SDG&E customers, according to Edward Lopez, the director of UCAN, the Utility Consumers Action Network.
SDG&E customers just don't know how to deal with these skyrocketing bills. In a number of cases, the increase was absolutely hundreds of dollars from the prior month.
In January, customers saw their natural gas bills double, which SDG&E blamed on everything from cold weather to low capacity of pipelines and gas storage facilities. But there is good news on that front. SDG&E just put out a news release saying the average bill should be $140 lower in March when compared to January. That said, SDG&E has already applied to raise its gas rates next year.
With its application, SDG&E already signaled that it's asking for nearly 18% increase over 2023.
During Sempra's earnings report webcast, the CEO, Jeffrey Martin, who earned $24 million in 2021 in total compensation, told investors he wants to, paraphrasing here, build, baby, build.
There is a common opportunity set in front of each of our business platforms focused on investments in modern energy infrastructure that accelerate electrification and the transition to cleaner fuels.
Translation, Sempra plans to spend a lot of ratepayer money on capital projects where the company makes a guaranteed 9.9% rate of return. That percentage rate is actually down from last year thanks to utility advocates like UCAN.
These investor-owned utilities certainly are receiving profitability from the utility because of the capital investment they're making.
David Goffredson reporting. Now, you might wonder why SDG&E can't just make less money and pass the savings on to customers. SDG&E and Sempra are for-profit companies. There are publicly owned utilities in California that are nonprofit. There's a group called Public Power San Diego that is advocating for that solution here. SDG&E does tell us that they pay what they have to pay for natural gas, that the market has risen this past year, and that's out of the utility's control. Do we know that's true? Well, California law says they're supposed to, but the federal government is now looking into possible market manipulation by natural gas companies. So they're going to be looking to that and hopefully get us more answers.